Hi, my name is MIntz. I'm a member of the Talmud faculty at Maharat. Welcome to the 10 days of Torah of Maharat. Today is day 7. As we prepare to celebrate the holiday of Purim later this week, it's striking that in this year, a leap year, we choose to celebrate Purim in Adar Sheni, in the second Adar. As we know, the Jewish leap year adds an additional month, an additional Adar to the calendar. The general rule in Jewish tradition, in Jewish ritual, is the idea of Zrizim Makdimim LeMitzvot, that we try to perform mitzvot as early and quickly as we can possibly do. And therefore, it seems strange that we don't celebrate Purim in the first Adar, our first chance to celebrate Purim. Interestingly, people who observe yurtzites, at least within the Ashkenazi tradition, do observe the yurtzeit in the first and not the second Adar. So why is it that we celebrate Purim in the second Adar? And the Gemara in Megillah asks this question. And the Gemara answers that there's a special reason that we celebrate Purim in the second Adar. Kedei lemismach geula legeula. To connect the redemption of Purim with the redemption of Pesach. To have them next to one another. So we celebrate Purim in the second Adar, and then we celebrate Pesach in the next month in Nisan. At first glance, this seems like a strange Gemara, because actually the redemption of Pesach is different than the redemption of Purim. The redemption of Pesach was in a sense a forced redemption. The Jews were taken out of Egypt. They were slaves, but they weren't asked whether they wanted to leave or not. And we know they complained plenty in the desert. The Gemara in Masechah Shabbos actually says, Kafa alehem har kigigit. Actually, God put the mountain on top of them and said, if you accept the Torah, good. And if not, sham tiyeh kfuratchem. Here will be your burial place. The exodus from Egypt, the redemption from Egypt, was one, in a sense, was forced upon the Jews. Purim, on the other hand, says the Gemara, Hadar kibluha bimei Achashverosh, that the Jews willingly accepted the tradition, God's dominance on the holiday of Purim in Shushan. As the Pasuk says, Kimu v'kiblu haYehudim. The Jews accepted it upon themselves. A completely different type of redemption. A redemption not that's forced, but a redemption of Kimu v'kiblu. And I think, actually, that's what the Gemara means. Kedei lemismach geula legeula. To connect the two redemptions to one another. The redemptions are not the same. The redemption of Pesach was one that was forced on us, one that we didn't necessarily choose, but history just required it to happen. And then in Purim, so many centuries later, we willingly said, Kimu v'kiblu haYehudim. That's what redemptions are all about. You know, sometimes we're redeemed, sometimes good things happen, and we choose them and we embrace them. And sometimes they just happen to us. We don't even know that they happened, and sometimes we're not even sure that they were good or they were bad. But we have to recognize and we have to appreciate all forms of redemption, both the redemption of Pesach and the redemption of Purim. And therefore we celebrate Purim in the second Adar. Kedei lemismach geula legeula. Purim sameach, afreilichem Purim.